Hey everybody, are you thinking about making a move to Metro Phoenix, but you're concerned about buying property out here in the middle of the desert, so to speak? Well, there are certain things you need to be aware of when you're buying property in Metro Phoenix because, well, there are some unique issues and problems and pitfalls that you can run into, but then again, that's what we're here for. We're going to go over the 6 most common property disasters that you can run into in Metro Phoenix, and more importantly, how to avoid them. Be sure to watch till the end because the very last pitfall is the most commonly overlooked one. Hi everybody, my name is Mike Zahn and I'm with the Live Local Real Estate Group here at eXp Realty. As always, if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section right down here below because we do love to hear from you. So now, without further delay, let's get started. One thing most people don't expect to run into is property pitfall number 1. In Metro Phoenix, there is leased land. Wait, isn't that what you have in Hawaii where you don't own the land underneath your house? Well, it's not common in Arizona. In fact, it's rare. However, you need to be aware that there are some areas in Scottsdale and a couple places in Phoenix where there is property that sits on leased land. You don't own the land underneath your building. Lease amounts can range from $80 a month to almost $900 per month. Wait, $900 a month? That's crazy! Paying $900 a month to your mortgage payments is the equivalent of adding an extra $128,000 for your home at today's interest rates. Personally, I'd rather buy the more expensive home if I'm going to pay the extra $900 per month. So make sure your realtor is aware of this and points it out to you should you be in one of those areas where there is leased land. Potential pitfall number 2, termites. Yikes! You mean Arizona has termites? Actually, termites are a very common problem here in the desert, and there's a good chance that any home you purchase is going to have termites and need to be treated for them. The good news is Arizona is not like many other states where the termites are rather voracious and can do a lot of damage quickly. In most cases, the termites here in Arizona are what they call subterranean termites, and these are what a home inspector once called to me snackers. In other words, they eat slowly. This just means that it's likely you will find them before they do too much damage to your home, and you can then have the home treated for them. And unlike other areas, they don't need a tent to go over your home and to fumigate it or heat it. They simply put some chemicals into the ground around your home because, well, they are, as they say, subterranean termites. They live in the ground. You put the chemicals in the ground where they live, and they either die or go away. Usually the seller will pay for that treatment, but it's typically only around $500 for the average home. Potential pitfall number 3. Depending on where you are at and how old the home is, you will probably want to look inside your sewer lines. Yeah. Well, maybe you don't want to look inside your sewer lines, but you should look inside them. You see, everything gets old. Sewer lines are no exception, and the thing is, replacing a sewer line can run you $10,000 or more. So you want to know if that's an issue before you buy the home and you've locked in your deal. In some areas of town, Orangeburg pipe was commonly used for sewer lines, and that is notorious for failing after about 40 or 50 years. Orangeburg pipe is nothing more than asphalt-infused cardboard. What could possibly go wrong? Well, they thought it was a good idea at the time, but it turns out not so much. If you're buying an older home or a home in one of these areas with Orangeburg, make sure you check the sewer line before you buy. So, real quick, if you find this information useful and valuable, then you found a home here. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and because, well, we post new content every week. And if you're subscribed, you simply won't miss anything that's important. Of course, if you have any questions, go to my Calendly link down below and book a call with me at your convenience. I'd be happy to answer your questions, and really, I'm a pretty easy guy to talk with. Moving on. Potential property pitfall number 4. Electrical service. Who provides the electricity to your home? Is it Arizona Public Service, APS, or SRP, otherwise known as Salt River Project? Or is it solar with either of these two providers? Those of us who live in Arizona know that the homes that have Salt River Project electrical service will generally be paying less on their electric bill than will those who have Arizona Public Service for their electrical provider. It's just something you should be aware of when you're considering which home to buy. If the home has solar, you need to check on several things. First, how long is left on the solar lease? Or is it an owned system? If it is a lease system, you will also want to check on what the payments are. I've seen some very reasonable solar payments, and I've also seen some solar payments where it was apparent that the solar salesman, quote, saw them coming, unquote, and stuck them with a ridiculous solar bill every month. The third thing you'll want to check on is whether or not the system was installed and received, quote, net metering from the electric company. Net metering is just something that means you can get a credit on your bill for the electricity you produce and don't use, and then send back to the electrical service provider because you don't use it. That can save you a lot of money on your bill. They have to buy it back from you. But not every solar system is installed in that manner, so you have to make sure your solar system has it. Because you see, net metering was discontinued in Arizona in 2016, but systems installed before then are grandfathered for the life of the system. There is a variant of net metering that's available to systems installed after that date, but the lift savings are less. So again, just check, be sure you know what it is that you're buying. Potential pitfall number 5. Show me the water. We've all heard the rumors. Arizona is running out of water. Well, I hate to disappoint you, but that's just not true. As of this recording, only the northwest corner and the western edge of Arizona is experiencing drought conditions. The rest of the state, normal conditions are bad. Now, that being said, there are certain situations where I would urge you to think twice before buying. Most of these situations will be on the periphery of the valley cities where you're buying a home on acreage, but you need to be aware of them. The first situation is purchasing a home with hauled water. There are million-dollar homes in the valley that are not connected to a water system, nor do they have a well. They are literally reliant on a truck to deliver water to them so they have water to use for their everyday needs. Yes, it works, but I don't know about you, that just makes me nervous. The second situation is a shared well, with maybe 4 or 5 homes sharing a single well and sharing the water and the expense of that well between them. Well, that's nice and neighborly and all, but what happens if your nice neighbor moves and a jerk moves in who feels it's important to plant an acre of grass and put in a huge pool, and suddenly they're sucking all of the water out of your well? Or what if the well needs repair and 3 out of the 4 of you say, I'll chip in, according to the lease agreement, but the 4th one says, even though they're legally obligated to do so, says, well, money's kind of tight this month, I'll catch you next time. You have no choice but to repair the well, and he gets off scot-free, so you have water and you're just stuck with the extra bill to repair it. Again, just makes me nervous sharing a well. I prefer to be hooked up to a private or public water system or have my own well. Make sure your realtor checks this out when you're looking at property, particularly if you're in the outlying areas of town or you're on acreage. And finally, this last pitfall, number 6, is the one I mentioned at the beginning, which is the most commonly overlooked potential disaster when you're buying property. Arizona has a lot of tile roofs. They're beautiful, they're stylish, and they always look new, at least on the top layer. What do I mean by that? Well, the tile actually has a rated lifespan of 50 years or more. That's not what's likely to fail and cause leaks in your home, though. What fails is the underlayment beneath that you can't see. And unlike tile, it has a lifetime rating of typically 20 to 25 years, but can fail as soon as 15 years of it, or if some of it is exposed to the sun. And that can happen when you have tiles that slip out of their position, or you have cracked tiles, which are a common occurrence with our Arizona windstorms from time to time. So replacing a tile roof can run you $12,000 to $30,000, even more on large homes. So if there's not a leak in your home and the inspector says no leaks, no worries, make sure you have your realtor find out how old the roof is. Even better, have a roof inspection, because if it is an original roof that's 20 years old, there's a good chance you're going to be replacing that roof sooner rather than later, and that will be a pretty big expense. So there you have it, the most common property pitfall when purchasing a home in Arizona. So armed with this information, you can avoid a property disaster when you buy your next home here in the Valley. With a good realtor, it's pretty easy to do if you're looking to buy a home in the Valley or Metro Phoenix area. Just make sure you check out our website right here on MetroPhoenixLiving.com. It's the #1 search site in the Valley because we update it every 5 minutes so you can get the most recent information that's available to the general public. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do so. And again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.